Imagine pressing a switch and watching a light bulb shine brilliantly, yet there are no wires connected, no batteries inside, and no hidden energy source around. How could a bulb possibly illuminate when there seems to be absolutely no electricity feeding it? Is this some clever illusion, or is it hinting at something far more intriguing? Today, in a quick dive through everyday curiosities and the hidden mechanisms that power our lives, we're going to uncover the simple yet astonishing science behind this phenomenon. Before we get into the heart of it, think about the countless times you've seen bulbs glow. Perhaps the lamp on your desk, streetlights flickering on at dusk, or enormous spotlights at concerts come to mind. All of these rely on one principle. Energy flows through a medium, usually wires connected to a battery or electrical socket, pushing electrons through a filament and producing light. It seems straightforward, a concept drilled into us from childhood science lessons. But this bulb is different. It sits there, quietly glowing without any apparent source of power. Your mind might start racing through possible explanations. Could it be a tiny concealed battery at the base or invisible wiring cleverly hidden? You can handle the bulb, turn it around, examine every angle, and still find nothing. No trickery, no hidden components. At first glance, it almost appears as though it's generating energy from thin air. Yet, we know energy cannot simply appear out of nowhere. So what is actually powering this luminous object? Here's where the story becomes fascinating. It isn't just about a light bulb, it's a lens into the world of energy, innovation, and even economics. Everything we rely on, smartphones, factory machinery, the very lights in our homes, requires energy. But the ways humans capture, store, and transmit that energy are far more inventive than simply plugging devices into walls. This glowing bulb serves as a vivid example of how unconventional energy pathways constantly challenge our expectations and subtly shape the world around us. Consider instances you might have encountered in school science kits, connecting a bulb to a potato with two electrodes. At first, it seems like no battery is present, yet the bulb emits a faint glow. The potato isn't creating energy from nothing. Chemical reactions within it, involving acids and moisture, generate tiny electrical currents when copper and zinc interact. These currents, though small, are sufficient to illuminate a tiny bulb. Even without a conventional electricity source, energy is concealed in unexpected forms. The concept becomes even more captivating with demonstrations involving fluorescent tubes. Bring such a tube near a high voltage source and it begins to glow in midair. There are no direct wires, no immediate contact, yet energy transfers invisibly through space. This is called wireless power transmission, a principle Nikola Tesla explored more than a century ago. Tesla imagined a world where light and energy could reach every home and street without the need for cumbersome wiring. Returning to our enigmatic bulb, the mechanisms at play could include subtle chemical reactions or ambient electromagnetic energy, but the underlying lesson extends far beyond one simple light. It demonstrates humanity's relentless quest to find smarter, more efficient, and sometimes invisible methods of capturing, storing, and delivering energy. From a humble potato-powered experiment to modern wireless charging stations, the question remains the same: how can we keep the lights on anywhere, for anyone, at any moment? Zooming out from a single bulb to the broader landscape of technology and energy, we realize much of the innovation that powers our daily lives happens quietly, almost imperceptibly. Most people think of electricity in terms of wall sockets, batteries, or large wind turbines spinning in open fields. But countless breakthroughs occur in hidden corners behind the scenes, quietly transforming how energy moves through the world. Every glowing filament, every faint spark, and every wire-free charge tells a story of ingenuity, of humans continually bending the rules of conventional thinking to make energy more accessible, flexible, and invisible. This is the hidden rhythm of progress. It's not always obvious, not always flashy, yet it shapes every light we see and every device we touch. So next time you encounter a glowing bulb without apparent wires or batteries, pause for a moment. What seems impossible at first glance is often a reflection of how energy can exist, move, and transform in ways we rarely notice. From chemical reactions within humble vegetables to electromagnetic waves dancing invisibly in the air, energy has countless forms and pathways. And understanding them reveals not only how the lights stay on, but also how innovation quietly drives the world forward, reshaping our future in ways both subtle and profound. This luminous bulb has far more to reveal than it seems at first glance. Consider the story of wireless energy. Nowadays, charging pads allow you to lay your phone down and watch it gain power with no cable attached. To many, this still feels like magic. Yet the principle mirrors experiments you might have seen in classrooms where coils of wire and magnetic fields quietly do the work. Simply put, energy travels through air via electromagnetic fields rather than physical conductors. When your device rests on a charger, the two interact across these invisible fields, transferring enough electricity to gradually fill the battery. Imagine how astonishing this idea must have seemed over a century ago. Nikola Tesla devoted tireless nights to devising methods for sending electricity through the air on a scale far beyond a small phone charger. His ambition was vast. Entire cities powered wirelessly, accessible to anyone, lighting homes and streets without a single wire. While the world was not ready for his vision at the time, his concepts have left traces in modern technology. From the convenience of wireless home chargers to ambitious projects aiming to beam solar energy from massive orbiting satellites, the influence of Tesla's thinking is everywhere. Returning to our glowing bulb, you might still speculate. Could it rely on a hidden hand crank or small magnet? After all, emergency flashlights that you shake or rotate to generate power use a coil and a moving magnet to produce electricity right in your hands. No external battery is necessary, just the energy from your motion. Perhaps this bulb contains a micro version of that mechanism, or maybe it harnesses the warmth of your touch through a thermoelectric generator. These devices convert minor temperature differences into usable electricity, sufficient to illuminate something as simple as an LED. Yet, in every scenario, some basic elements are required: a source where energy begins, and a path for it to reach the bulb. This principle holds true across the spectrum, from the tiniest potato battery to sprawling electrical grids visible outside your window. But here lies the essence of our tale. Energy does not always reside where we anticipate, and the techniques for storing and delivering it are constantly evolving. Consider kinetic tiles embedded in urban sidewalks. Every step of a passerby generates a small pulse of electricity. Look to public parks where solar lamps absorb sunlight all day to shine after dark. No wiring or outlets required. The bulb glowing innocently on a table represents a miniature version of these quiet revolutions, each small experiment part of a broader transformation. Is this trickery, or is it merely economics wearing the disguise of science? The answer lies in why this seemingly simple bulb is anything but ordinary. Reflect for a moment on how humanity has always confronted energy shortages, from discovering fire to inventing steam engines and eventually creating modern lithium batteries. Civilization's progress is inseparable from finding improved ways to harness limited energy. Every invention, whether a light bulb or a solar panel, emerges as a response to scarcity or inefficiency, concepts any economist would instantly recognize. When wiring every building proved too expensive, batteries were imagined. When batteries failed too frequently, people captured energy from the sun, the wind, and even the motion of their own feet. Each leap in powering devices, every new method of lighting a bulb, combines scientific ingenuity with economic necessity. It's about maximizing available resources, creatively repurposing energy, and discovering new applications for each electron. This glowing bulb embodies that philosophy. Perhaps it relies on unseen electromagnetic fields, stores energy from earlier, or utilizes a subtle chemical reaction invisible to the eye. Every possibility illustrates humans finding fresh methods, shortcuts, and clever techniques to convert potential into visible light. Often, these transformations are easy to overlook because the technology grows smaller, simpler, and more intuitive each year. Nonetheless, whenever a bulb shines without an obvious source, it exposes the hidden threads linking science, invention, and economics. Think of energy in your daily life: your phone charging on the bed, a smartwatch lighting up as you walk, drawing from a battery so tiny it barely registers. Energy flows from form to form as naturally as coins passing between hands. The greatest economic questions, scarcity, incentives, innovation, reside quietly inside every device we touch. As we unravel the puzzle of this mysterious bulb, remember the true wonder lies not in the light itself, but in the inventive ways we learn to produce it. From this single glowing filament, we glimpse the layers of possibility. Next time you encounter a bulb that seems to defy explanation, resist thinking of it as a trick. Instead, recognize a world of innovation illuminating itself through one small invention at a time. Step back and observe. From that initial shock of seeing light without wires to the broader historical and technological possibilities, this bulb tells a story that spans human ingenuity, scientific progress, and economic insight. From a humble potato lighting a tiny bulb to Tesla's most ambitious visions, the lesson is clear everywhere. Each time a light shines where you don't expect it, we witness humanity grappling with scarcity through ingenuity, transforming the unseen into something vital. Today, that struggle isn't just scientific. It shapes the very structure of the global economy. Energy drives more than machines. It fuels competition, sparks innovation, and can either divide or unify entire communities. Picture for a moment if the technology concealed within that seemingly impossible bulb scaled up. Power available wirelessly, ready to flow anywhere. Imagine the consequences for the millions who currently lack dependable electricity. In some regions, children still study by candlelight. Hospitals rely on generators and businesses shut down at sundown. Eliminating the need for wires or complex infrastructure could revolutionize life, accelerating entire regions into the 21st century almost overnight. This is not just innovation, it is economic transformation. Costs for laying conventional infrastructure, thousands of dollars per mile, could collapse. Energy's value shifts, prices of goods and services drop, and lives improve as opportunity widens. Yet we must temper excitement with realism. For every striking demonstration, like our glowing bulb, countless concepts never reach fruition or fail to reach those in need. Tesla's wireless ambitions, for instance, encountered insurmountable walls of physics, expense, and technical difficulty. Even today, wireless charging functions over just a few inches, not across entire cities or continents. Potato batteries last mere hours and illuminate only the smallest bulbs. Widespread wireless energy brings economic costs, energy loss risks, and safety concerns from invisible currents in the air. All tangible obstacles. Still, holding that glowing bulb reminds us of an essential truth. Every technology that changed the world began as an experiment, a lone point of light in the darkness. Where does economics enter this story? It begins with incentives and rewards. Why do scientists toil late into the night refining solar panels thinner than paper? Why did Tesla pursue wireless electricity despite ridicule and financial peril? Because the market never rests. Someone is always chasing the next breakthrough, the next leap beyond scarcity. New energy technologies can overturn existing markets. Consider how solar power evolved from an expensive experimental curiosity to a cornerstone of global policy within just a few decades. Every innovation in capturing or storing energy triggers economic ripples, creating jobs, spawning business models, and even raising national security considerations. And the unseen side, the cost of inaction, remains stark. Around the world, people lose time, money, and sometimes health because energy is unreliable, expensive, or tied to polluting sources. A single glowing bulb, powered by a novel method, could be the first step toward ending that drain and creating a surplus of energy. When energy is abundant enough for everyone, entirely new economic opportunities arise. Children can study longer, hospitals operate more safely, factories produce more efficiently, and entrepreneurs can chase ideas well into the night. Each bulb illuminated by unconventional means acts as a rehearsal for a world where energy is not just cheap, but as close to free as physics allows. Of course, every new solution carries new challenges. Materials required for highly efficient, self-illuminating bulbs may be rare or costly. Manufacturing these devices can introduce unforeseen problems. Economics is not just the pursuit of what is possible. It is the careful weighing of trade-offs, making decisions with incomplete knowledge, and balancing present costs against future benefits. Still, imagine the trajectory. As energy becomes simpler to capture, store, and use, as what was invisible becomes commonplace, new markets will emerge. People who previously had no access suddenly become consumers, inventors, and contributors. Every advancement in energy reduces divides between the haves and have-nots, opening the door to abundance and choice. The glowing bulb offers a small glimpse into this future, a spark that, though tiny now, could illuminate entire villages, cities, and eventually economies. As this story closes, reflect on what it means for each of us. Imagine a world where every device you own can glow, operate, or recharge seamlessly in the background, no cords, no effort, endless invisible energy flowing like air. What possibilities would you explore? What freedoms might emerge if scarcity were eliminated entirely? This is why a single glowing bulb on an empty table demands attention. Even if it appears trivial, ordinary, or impossible, it carries the blueprint for transformation. Consider the applications you might envision if wireless, battery-free energy became commonplace. How would it reshape your home, your city, or even the most remote corners of the globe? The questions raised by this tiny filament could light the way toward tomorrow's innovations. Share your ideas, spark the conversation, and see how a single point of light can inspire limitless possibilities. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.